Yo, what is up? This is RizzyPOW, and we are here with week 11 of the MPL. So, this week we're going to be going up against Cipher and the Motor City Moltres. Before we begin this match, and before I begin talking about my team, I'd like to apologize a little bit for last week. I know the commentary was not as good as it should have been. It was kind of a bit boring for week 10, and that was because actually I was really busy on the day before it was supposed to be uploaded, which was Saturday, and I already had it pre-recorded. Unfortunately, I was really busy, and I went to go edit it at like midnight the day before it was supposed to be uploaded, and I found out that the audio had been corrupted. So the next day, I woke up early, and I was tired, and I re-recorded it early in the morning. So that's kind of why that was not up to par, I guess, that last recording. But we, unfortunately, if you guys did not watch last week, we unfortunately had suffered a pretty big loss. Not a huge loss. It was a 2-0 against the Columbus Blue Stripes. And IPA played very well, of course, but I did misplay a little bit, and I could have definitely played a ton better. Unfortunately, the hack did not help me too much, but we're now into week 11. We're going to be going up against Cipher and the Motor City Moltres. Now, Cipher is a very interesting opponent. He's lost quite a bit of battles, although when he does win, he wins against, like, he's won against the Motor City Moltres. I think he's won against some other really people who, like, he's stopped losing streaks essentially. So if we look at Cipher's team, he has a really threatening team. His team is extremely offensive. It really is. So I'm gonna just say his team out loud right here. It's gonna be, his roster is Miss Magius, Mega Beedrill, Zygarde, Nidoking, Porygon Z, Azelf, Chestnut, Talonflame, Starmie, Excavalier, and Conkeldurr. So as you can see, his team is really freaking fast. And if I wanted to go up against Cipher, I really have to I have a couple of options. Obviously, I can go offensive, I can go defensive, but I don't really have that many offensive pokes at my disposal. I mean, my most like speedy and offensive threats would include Superior, Mamoswine, what else, Blaziken, and I guess Scrafty could even be if I get a D-Dance up, but not really. Scrafty is more defensive, if I would say. So as you can see, I only have like 4 like fast and offensive pokes. I guess you could count Zapdos, but not really. Zapdos is more for the defense. So obviously, all those Pokemon that I just mentioned get destroyed by Talonflame. So this was not my team. Obviously, this was a team that was handed to me because I was not there for the first couple of weeks, first like 7 weeks of the MPL. So I don't have that many offensive threats for his team. So unfortunately, I'm actually going to have to go really defensive to go up against Cipher. Now, something looking at Cipher's team, he does have a very offensive Pokemon, fast and offensive, but he does not have any mid-speed Pokemon. Literally, the only slow Pokemon he has on his team is Conkeldurr, Excavalier, and Chestnut, and they have like base, I think Chestnut is like base 50 speed, maybe 60, but still, it is really slow. But he does not have any Pokemon that is like base 80 speed, which is actually really good for me, because I'll talk about it later. Yeah, another thing is that his team is really, you know, hyper offensive. He does not have many things to switch into certain attacks. Maybe Chestnut is the only one, but Chestnut can easily be handled, you know, as a 4x weakness and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think that's it. A lot of his team is relatively frail besides that Chestnut. I guess it's Excavalier and Conkeldurr not too frail, but still decently frail. Zygarde is not too frail, but I do have a Mamoswine, so we're not going to talk about my team. Remember, if you want to just get this team preview, the link, the time where you can skip to the actual battle will be in the description. So we're going to be, this week I'm going to be bringing my Mega Slowbro. I've been bringing it every week so far, and it works. It's a really powerful mon. I'm bringing. I did not spend too much time with this team just because I didn't have that much time. I pretty much went with more basic EV spreads for this. Just like bulk, pretty much was a lot of my team. My team is really bulky. I'm bringing against Cipher, so I ran max HP, max defense, bold. Pretty standard set I brought for this thing. I brought Scald, Slack Off, Side Shot, Calm Mind. Nothing too special about there. if I get a Calm Mind up, he's going to be having a really hard time with my Mega Slowbro, and that was why I decided to bring the Calm Mind this week up against Cipher. Now my next Pokemon, I got the other core, Chansey. Already you can see this team is already looking disgusting. I'm having a Chansey. This week, I've decided to run Softball, Stealth Rock, Seismic Talk, and Toxic. This is the thing that sets up rocks on my side of the field. I also got Softball, need that recovery. Toxic is really good against his team. One thing I'm really scared about is his Nidoking for sure, because I don't have many answers. I do have a couple of answers for Nidoking, especially if I do get like a Calm Mind up with my Slowbro. And I do have something else for Nidoking, but if he has a superpower on his Nidoking, that can really mess me up. And I can't even Toxic his Nidoking because, it's a poison type. I just ran, mixed defensive set, max defense, max special defense, and a little bit of HP investment. My next Pokemon, I'm skipping. We're running an AV Mamoswine this week. Now, this is really to help me deal with his Nidoking better, and he might, as I said, he might have superpower, and that would kind of be upsetting, but this is what I'm bringing again for his Nidoking mostly. He's mostly, if he sees this thing, he might just go for an Earth Power on me or something like that. Even if he has Focus Blast, he might do that. Plus, this priority Ice Shard for his team is so good. He has Mega Beedrill. Ice Shard is so good for that. He has Zygarde, Ice Shard, Ice Shard can really put him to work, especially since his team is so frail. And because he not really have any mid-spear tier Pokemon, I was actually just able to go max HP, max attack, adamant for this set, and a bit in special defense. So I really think this Pokemon is going to do really well. The AV is there, for his Pokemon. I could even potentially live a hit from Starmie. The problem about this team is that Starmie is really dangerous for my team, especially if he brings like a leftovers analytic one. I don't really have much to take a Hydro Pump, but if he's Life Orb, pretty much the way I'm going to be having to deal with his Starmie is going to be, wearing it down. So that is going to be what I'm going to have to be doing against it. Now we have my Scarf Blaziken. This is the only Pokemon on my team who has not died, I'm pretty sure. It is 5 kills, 0 deaths, says +5 differential. So this thing is a star right over here. So I'm riding Jolly Scarf just in case. I really think if I think he might have a chance of running a Scarfed Porygon this week, and if he does, I'm really expecting him to run Modest. So I will be able to outspeed a Modest Porygon Z, and I'm not obviously going to switch this thing on a Porygon Z and try attacking it in case he might be timid Scarfed. It's only there, for last resort, okay? In case, I might lose and I just have to bring this Blaziken out and just kill it. And just hope that he isn't timid. That is pretty much what I'm going for right here. I'm bringing a high jump kick, flare blitz, knockoff, and quick attack. This thing will be able to outspeed his Mega Beedrill, especially because, it is Jolly. I'm pretty sure I'll outspeed it. I might have to check after this match. By the way, I'm actually battling Cipher in a couple, 30 minutes from now. So, I'm doing the battle really soon. I'm running quick attack instead of vacuum wave this week. I just need those 3 moves: high jump kick, flare blitz, knockoff, and the last move was just up to whatever. I ran quick attack instead of vacuum wave, even though vacuum wave does help me up against the Porygon Z, maybe potentially killing it if it's about to die. I do have switch-ins for Porygon Z, such as my Chansey, and quick attack just overall does more damage to Pokemon that I'm scared of, such as Starmie. It can attack Talonflame for a ton more damage. I do about 25% to about Starmie or Talonflame, in case he wants to run a Starmie. And I also do more damage to his Beedrill, which that is pretty important. But although I will outspeed his Beedrill anyway, but still kind of nice instead of Vacuum Wave. Overall, it just does more damage to his team than Vacuum Wave, so that's why I'm running Quick Attack this week. I don't see me using it unless I'm put into that situation, just like I was put in that situation against Mystic a couple of weeks ago. Now, my next Pokemon, another defensive Pokemon right over here. I'm bringing my Fortress this week for the hazard stacking. I don't have a Volt Switch on this because I just don't see me ever needing to go for Volt Switch, because Gyro Ball, since he is such a fast team, Gyro Ball is literally going to put in the work this week. I'm at a minus speed nature. Gyro Ball, literally, it's going to do a ton of damage. Not many Pokemon on his team can switch in on this thing, except maybe Conkeldurr or Excavalier, but what are they going to do to me? I can just set up spikes all over them. I guess maybe I can't set up spikes on Conkeldurr just because it might have Fire Punch, but I can scout for this Fire Punch. This is also my spinner on my team in case he wants to bring rocks. I don't see him really bringing rocks. He does not have many things to set up rocks on his team, except maybe, you know, Nidoking could set up rocks, and he does have Chestnut, which could set up spikes. So that's always that. You know, also got Pain Split for that recovery in spikes. I just want a Hazard Sack, man. I love Hazard Sacking. He does not, I don't think he has a Defogger or Rapid Spinner. No, he does not. So my hazards are going to be on his side of the field to stay. No, actually he does have Starmie. I forgot about that one. Yes, he does have Starmie. So, but still, if he's bringing a Life Orb Star, which I really expect him to bring this week, since it does just decimate my team, the only thing I could have had for Starmie would be if I put an AV really specially defensive Scrafty. Just because, you know, I can't even switch in on him if he goes for Hydro Pump. That would be what I'd have to do. Analytic is just so dangerous with that Starmie, so I'm really scared about that Starmie. As I said, I didn't have too much time to prepare, but you know, it's whatever. My last Pokemon is going to be my, pretty much my Talonflame switch in. I'm Bull, max defense, max HP, Roost, Volt Switch, Hidden Power Ice, and Heat Wave. I don't have Thunderbolt this week just because I don't see me ever needing to go for Thunder Wave. I'm in Thunderbolt. If I'm ever in on that Conkeldurr, I'm going to go for Volt Switch because I don't want to take an Ice Punch. If I'm in on that Excavalier, Heat Wave. If I'm in on the Talonflame, I'm still going to Volt Switch. That does a ton of damage to it. So overall, I just don't see me wanting to use Thunderbolt this week. So that's why I ran Volt Switch. Hidden Power Ice and Heat Wave are just really good against my opponent's team. He even has Chestnut. Heat Wave does good. So yeah, this is going to be the team I'm running against Cipher this week. I hope I do well. I don't even just want to win this match. I know it's kind of sounding mean. Obviously, if I win, I would be so happy. But I want to get a really high differential because last week Ash actually won his match against the Sacramento Kinders in a 5-0. So that put him, I think, at a minus. It's either at a -6 differential now he's at, or a -4. I can't remember exactly if he was a -1 differential before or +1. But we are not in the best situation. We're at a -10 differential, but we can still do well. If we get a high differential this week against Cipher, it would be fantastic. Of course, I'm not underestimating my opponent this week. Even if I win, I'd be happy. Cipher could definitely win this week. He has a really offensive team. I'm really scared about it. But for me to make the playoffs, this is what I'm going to have to try to do. So I think that's going to be it. I will see you guys in the match. Peace. Alright, we are back with week 11 of the MPL. We're going to be going up against Cipher Blocka in the Motor City Moltres. So let's just start to get into this match. Remember, as always, the link to Cipher's YouTube and Twitter will be in the description below, as well as the MPL's YouTube and Twitter. Remember, I do weekly recaps for the MPL on there, so make sure to check them out. And we're going to be going up against Cipher right here. As you can tell already, he really does have a hyper offensive team up for me. You know, he has those really offensive threats, especially that Starmie. I was so scared for that Starmie. I even said in my team preview, Life Orb Analytics Starmie can literally kill me. It literally destroys my team. There's almost nothing I could have brought for it too. So it literally can destroy my team. The only thing I could have potentially brought for was like an Assault Vest Scrafty, but still it would have not been very good because I wouldn't be able to switch into it because of Analytic. I might have been able to if I ran some special defense EVs, but it really did not go well with the rest of the team and stuff, so it's really difficult. But we're gonna start the match. He does have, you know, Nidoking is also a huge threat for my team because it can be run physically offensive or especially offensive. He's going to start off with the Moltres. I decided to start off with my Scarf Blaziken just because even if he started off with his thing right over here, even if he started off with his Moltres or Talonflame, I had a nice switch out into my Kaminari, my freaking Zapdos. I could have even gone out into my Slowbro. So he's gonna go for the Brave Bird, and look at the little amount of damage he does over here. Literally does nothing. Telling me he definitely isn't Choice Banded. Probably doesn't even have that much EVs put into his attack. So he does have the leftovers. I'm kind of figuring he probably is a Swords Dance set made with the Will-O-Wisp or Taunt, and he has more HP or special defense investment. That's probably what I was thinking right over here. And he's going to switch out because he knows he can't take me on. I just go for the Volt Switch because even if he want to stay in, he was not taking that well. No matter how how bulky you were, and I could have just gone out into my freaking Slowbro. So yeah. Remember, I am using a more stally team this week. I told you guys that was pretty much my only option against Cipher, because if I went offense against Cipher, I don't have anything for his Talonflame, because, you know, my only 3 offensive pokes get destroyed by Talonflame, so I don't want to get crap for that. Just saying right now. But I'm going to go into my Mega Slowbro right here, and he switches in his Beedrill. He did that last week on Baiser. He switched in Beedrill on his on the freaking Slowking, and Baiser just one-shotted. So that's pretty interesting that he did it again. I actually misclicked. I actually went for Calm Mind. I meant to go for Side Shock, but it was a misclick. It did not really matter in the long run. I mean, his Beedrill got to live another day, but it doesn't matter. I got freaking Walnut in the house that can eat up any hit from this freaking Beedrill. It does not matter. I'm physically defensive. It just does not matter, man. It just does not matter. So Beedrill's gonna try subbing up on me. I expected the U-turn in. You know, Cipher is the only person who I've seen who would run a Swords Dance Beedrill. No, props to him. I'm just saying, it's so dangerous running a Swords Dance Beedrill, because you don't get that protecting that kind of stuff. But I guess it makes sense for my team, because I have a really slow team, and he does run it pretty often though. He goes for the sub Swords Dance. It really doesn't mean much, just because he cannot touch me any way, and I can just go for the Gyro Ball and one-shot him. So I'm just gonna keep on going for Gyro Balls. He does have a switch into his Talonflame, since I do not have the rocks up, which is pretty unfortunate. He's gonna go on Talonflame. Barely take any damage from that. I could have started getting up my spikes right over here against the Talon. Well, before the Talonflame switched in, and he's actually gonna double out. He's gonna double out, and what does he go out into? He goes out into this spazzing little freaking Electron crap, Porygon Z. I'm gonna go on my Alzheimer's. I could have potentially gone out into my Kaminari 2, my Zapdos. It does not really matter. I have a Chansey, so that's just, there's no even thought about it. I just switch out a Chansey. There's no reason not to. Even if he does go for Nasty Plot, I don't care. You can go for Nasty Plot. I don't even know if this thing does get Nasty Plot. Does Porygon Z get Nasty Plot? But he's going to switch out because he cannot do anything to me. I just go for the Seismic Toss. I really wanted to go for the freaking Toxic, but I knew his Conkeldurr was around. Oh, actually, I forgot. I actually went for Stealth Rocks at this point. I go for Stealth Rocks right here because I want to get my rocks up for that Talonflame. I know he does have a Starmie that can Rapid Spin it off, but he's going to have to wait to turn Rapid Spinning it off, and there's always that pressure on him that I keep on having on. So I switch on to this thing just in case, you know, I didn't want to do the same play twice, and I didn't need to. Slowbro was a Conkeldurr even better than Zapdos does, and since it's Mega Evolved, this is my better switch into it. He actually predicts that. He goes for the Stone Edge. It's pretty interesting to run Stone Edge. I mean, in the MPL, he obviously was preparing for Zapdos, and that was really nice. Fortunately, I switched in. Unfortunately for him, actually, I switched out into my Slowbro. But he actually reveals he has Recover on his Life Orb Porygon Z. And he goes for Side Shock right over here. And even though Chansey's physical bulk is not as good as its special bulk, I eat that shit up. And that is because I have both defense and special defense investment on this freaking Chansey. So I'm just going to go for Seismic Toss. He can't do much against me. I was wondering why he did not Recover up here. That would make a lot more sense, to be honest. I mean, he could have preserved this Porygon Z. He could have potentially taken out one of my Pokemons, but I'm going to allow my Chansey to be preserved at a very nice amount of health and just go for some softballs. I want to be a good amount of health. He's losing some damage by going for the freaking Tri-Attacks from that Life Orb. And oh, I actually go for Toxic right over here. Yeah, that makes sense though. Go for Toxic right over here. I'm sorry, this is actually quite a long battle because I did bring some solid-ish Pokemon. I had no choice, and also I did not draft my team. Just remember that. Next season in the MPL, we get a full redraft, so that's going to be fun. And he's going to go out into his King. I'm just going to stop build up at this point. I want to be at a good amount of health. And right over here, the way he brought it in, I expected superpower. So I just decided to hard switch out into my my Alzheimer's right here, just hoping please don't go for the Sludge Wave, and he does go for the Sludge Wave, so that's not going to be able to take me out, but put me in a really bad amount of health where I can't switch in on the Conkeldurr, but I can slack off on it. So I outspeed up? No, I don't. I don't outspeed it. Conkeldurr is like base 50 speed, right? Where's base 20? I don't remember. But I saw the Sludge Wave, and I'm like, dude, I can just go on my Chansey. Don't know why. Nidoking went in on my Chansey if it did not have superpower. He's going to switch this thing in on it, take all that rocks damage, and he's going to pretty much just sack his Sound Flame off to this Seismic Toss. And even if he didn't, maybe we'll go on for Roost after that, not gone for the Brave Bird as I switch on to something. And he wouldn't have lost it, but I don't even know what I'm saying, to be honest. His Beedrill is going to come out right here, take some more rocks damage. I think this time he just directly goes for the Swords Dance, but, you know, I knew what my switch was into. I knew, you know, Ferrothorn, you cannot touch Ferrothorn unless he's running HP Fire, and to be honest, I don't even think that's going to be doing too much damage coming from us. Mega Beedrill has like base 15 special attack. That's kind of crazy. His base 15 special attack, and it's a freaking mega. But I'm gonna take him out right here. He does get a crit. That kind of sucks. It's not that big of a deal though, to be honest. I do have my leftovers back. I can now paint split on something a bit easier. I can't switch in as well as I could before, unfortunately, so that kind of is a bummer, but I don't care. I'm going to go and switch out on my Fortress right here. I think he predicts this pretty nicely. Goes for the Sludge Wave. I guess getting as much as damage off as he could on my Chansey instead of Earth Power. They would have done a relatively the same amount, but I guess if he wanted to win, he needed those couple extra points. I don't know, but he's going to switch on his Conkeldurr. I make the mistake. I click Toxic, and I'm like, he's going to go on a Conkeldurr. Why did I do that? And this puts me in a really, really bad position. I mean, I'm still in a good position overall to win the match, but I'm looking at this point, I can potentially 6-0 Cipher, and I kind of want to do that as much of a dick that sounds to be. I want to 6-0 Cipher just because it helps me for the playoffs against Ash, because Ash and me are very, well, no, we're not very close, but if I can potentially catch up to Ash and make it to the playoffs. So I ended up, I had to play this out. I went on my Zapdos. I knew he was not going to go for the Stone Edge right away because he's already revealed it. He's probably not expecting me to go on to Zapdos. So right here, I go for the Volt Switch. I know he's going to go for Stone Edge right here. I knew my Blaziken could live it, and even though a Mach Punch would kill me after that, I would go for the Quick Attack. Remember, the reason that I'm so scared about this Conkeldurr right now, that it is toxic, is that it does have Guts most likely, and especially from the damage that Drain Punch did to my Zapdos, it definitely is Guts. So you're going to see right now how much this non-stab Stone Edge does to this freaking Blaziken. It does so much damage. Mach Punch would definitely take me out. And that's alright though. I got my freaking Quick Attack. Everybody's saying you're running Quick Attack or Vacuum Wave on a Scarf Blaziken. No. It's amazing. You just don't understand. You don't see the light. You just don't. But he's going to bring this thing in. And this thing, even if it isn't Scarfed or whatever, I have Quick Attack. I'm locking in a Quick Attack. I'm going to have to switch out. And plus, I ain't about losing my Blaziken. Getting that Conkeldurr down with that Quick Attack was really good for me. Just because that threat is out of the way. He pretty much has nothing for Chansey, especially because he's already revealed that this thing is most likely especially defensive. No, especially offensive. Doesn't have superpower because you'd have probably gone for superpower if he did back up then. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna start soft boiling up right now, and pretty much it's just me kind of stalling him out just with these seismic tosses. I also have to make sure my thing is healthy at this point, my Chansey. So unfortunately, we're over here. He only has his Nidoking and his Porygon Z, and I think that's it that he has left. I'm not sure. He might have another Pokemon, but it cannot touch Chansey. Pretty much right now, I'm just Seismic Tossing and Toxicking. Oh my god, that's a word. But getting rid of these threats, and you know, it's a bit stally. So I ended up 6-0ing Cipher this week. I'm just gonna talk about it right now. This puts my differential at a -4. We recovered against Ipa definitely at this point. That is really nice. We are at a -4 differential, and Ash, his last 2 games, he got a 4-0 against. He got a 4-0 up against. I don't remember. We got a 4-0 up against. And then he got a 5-0 up against Mystic Umbreon, the Anaheim Alterius. Who did he get a 4-0 up against? I don't remember. He's playing Slacks next week, so hopefully Slacks can end Ash's reign. And the only reason I'm mentioning Ash is because we're pretty close when it comes to playoffs. Unfortunately, he did get some really good wins, which puts a really big distance to us. I think right now he's at +8 differential after this week. So we are to -4. We still have a long way to go, but we do have 4 matches. I think next week we're playing the Moxie and Fernape. Moxie and Fernape is on a losing streak, so you know that could be nice. Although Moxie and Fernape, what is this team? The Atlanta Braviaries, they are not a team to mess with at all. This battle is going to be over in 2 turns. I'm not stalling at all, so don't think that. I'm just talking about, you know, the future of the MPL. And I don't really yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the match against Cipher over here, and I think at this point I'm just going to let the match play out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Actually, this is the last turn, so his star meat goes down. I'm actually recording this really late at night. I've not woken anybody up because I know I don't wake people up. He goes into Porygon Z. Could have actually recovered up right here and, you know, potentially taken out my Chansey because I was burned and stuff. He'd have to do a ton of stall, and I guess he thought it was not worth it, so he just decided to sack his Porygon Z off, especially because he is toxic. In the end, he probably would have not been able to win that war. But finally, this is the end. Please don't get on me in the comment section for using a stally team or anything like that. I literally had no other option. So I hope you guys enjoy this video once again, and that's gonna be it. Bye.